Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
My name is Jennifer Hewat. I'm the owner of Holistic Healthcare. And this morning I would like to talk to you about energy medicine, specifically the therapy called healing touch. Now, when you hear the words energy medicine, you might say, what is that? But actually, I bet you know more about it than you think. Science has been using the theory of energy and electromagnetic fields since the 1900s, and they use it to diagnose and treat us through x-rays, MRIs, and CAT scans. So how many people in this room have never had an x-ray, a CAT scan, or an MRI? There you go. So you're already experiencers of energy medicine. Did you know that the heart is the strongest and produces the strongest electromagnetic field in the body? Secondary to that is the brain. And healing touch is an energy-centered, heart-centered type of therapy. Energy medicine is medically mainstream now. We all know Dr. Oz, right? In the 1980s, Dr. Oz wrote a book called Healing from the Heart. And he uses alternative medicine and complementary medicine to help his heart transplants receive their energy coming full back into force and helping the immune system to recover. Also, you might know the renowned cardiologist Mimi Guarneri. She is head of the Scripps Integrative Medical Center in San Diego, California. She's written a book called The Heart Speaks. She experienced healing touch when she was very ill and now uses it in her center. So as I said, healing touch is a heart-centered therapy. It was discovered, or it started, by nurses in the 80s at Yale. They discovered that using touch on the body decreased the healing time needed for bone fractures. So instead of 6 weeks to heal, they could take the casts off in 4 weeks. Also, in terms of traditional medicine, we use healing touch energy medicine to decrease nausea during chemotherapy, detox the body after the chemo is given, to decrease anxiety and stress in any situation, and to help post-op recovery. When you've just had surgery, it cuts that recovery time in half. So doctors love that part. I've used my practical tradition of 30 years of traditional nursing and now combining it with 3 years of the certification program for healing touch and 3 years of a private practice to use a variety of healing methods. And so I thought you might like to see a demonstration of healing touch.
Yay!
Will that work?
Yes.
Absolutely. When I was treating one of my younger clients who's 8 years old at Johns Hopkins, her father was sitting next to her in the bed and turned around and said to me, this rough policeman, "Oh, the killer of a headache." And so I said, you know what, why don't you give me a few minutes and let's just do a few things that might reduce your headache. So I said, 0 to 10, what is it? He said, it's a 10. So after a few minutes of healing touch, we reduced his headache to a 1. And so the 3 things that I did for him, the 3 procedures I did for him, were first of all, we feel the pain ridge at the top of the head. When a person has a headache, they actually emanate these magnetic waves from the magnetic field, and you can feel that. So once I felt that, I used a technique we called ultrasound, just like using an eraser to rub out something on a piece of paper. And what this does is it decreases the congestion in the painful area. Then I use the next technique called hands in motion, and here we're using the energy center in the palms to gradually clear this congestive energy where the pain has been from the area. And we do that for a number of minutes until that congestion is gone. And then we use hands still to replace the depleted energy with helping energy so that the heart can refill. We never want to leave a vacuum. And so you've seen how energy medicine works in the person. Thank you. And I'd like to just show you, this is a simplified schematic of what the human energy field looks like. These are the areas that surround the body. And when we have an emotional or a physical trauma, the energy becomes tangled and congested. And when it stays like that for a number of days or weeks, then illness actually starts happening in the physical body related to the place. So it might be the head, it might be an organ like the pancreas or the spleen. Thank you. So in closing, you've heard about how we treat the whole person. So come to see me, www.holistichealthcare.net. Jennifer Hewat.
There you go.